All right, you ready? I know you are. You wanted to know what happened to Lifan KPR200. My last video, I was going down the highway and it died. About 73 miles an hour. I know I was doing 8,000 RPMs. I can tell you the motor broke in nicely. So at 8,000 RPMs, I would be doing 73, 74. 75 comes at about 8,500 RPMs. I mean, you don't want to ride it too fast than that. This bike's really, you know, that's the claim top speed. That's about as fast as you want to go with it. But at 73 miles an hour on the highway, the speed limit, by the way, on that highway is 75. Particular highway on I-10 I was on, and I was going through and actually riding out to mid-county. It was a warm day, and that may have been part of the problem, and I'll explain. But what was going on is I was riding. We had just had some traffic. They were doing some construction, so I'd slowed down. A car actually cut me off. I wish I would have had my GoPro mounted on the tank. I didn't, because I was, for whatever reason, going to my friend's house. And I mean, I gave them the what for. I was like, get over, you know, because they cut off right in front of me. And so I was behind them, and we had slowed down. Well, whenever they saw me tell them to get out of the way, of course, they sped up out of the way, and I started going. Now, with them being in front of me, you know, I guess I didn't get as much cool air coming over the bike, but I had a part fail. So instantly, the bike did nothing, no response on anything. Which, if you're ever in a situation and the engine dies on you, you can do that rocker switch over here, check your kill switch, off and on, engage it back. You know, if you're in gear, the motor is gonna, you know, pick up. You're gonna want to grab the clutch though first thing, and that's what I did. I grabbed the clutch, came off of it, and felt that it was not going to do anything. So I held on to that clutch. I had no turn signals to get over. I didn't have anything, so I went ahead and took my right arm and kind of flagged people to move back, and I started to get over. And I got over at just the right time, because I was at the top of an overpass, and so I could coast down. Now, if you saw my other video, I happened to coast down right onto a Honda dealership, which was nice because I went in and looked at some new bikes, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want. But everybody kept telling me, hey man, it's just the main fuse, it's just the main fuse. Well, okay. Well, I checked the main fuse, and guess what? So the main fuse on your KPR, by the way, is going to be right on top of your battery. It's labeled fuse. It was not the main fuse, but I went ahead and swapped it out, because in that little fuse box is an extra fuse. You'll see these are loose right now because I had to replace the battery, but I'll get there quickly. So the main fuse was not blown. The battery looked good, had a charge on it, because I tore it down and took a look, and it had a charge. But the next morning when I came out to look at it again, the battery that was in here had exploded. So I've heard of batteries exploding. They pop, they puff up and pop. This one popped and spewed battery acid everywhere. I'm thankful that it didn't occur while I was either on the bike or working on the bike, but for whatever reason, it blew up. And so then I knew something else is wrong. So is there a short? Of course, I think there must be a short, there must be a problem. Started doing my research. Kept going through, I said, what do you do? Look at all your parts, because that can be a nightmare tracking it down. But I took into account, it was a hot day. There was a car in front of me blocking my fresh air. The bike all of a sudden lost complete power, and the next day the battery blew up. Here's the problem. Voltage regulator. So voltage regulator ordered, got it in the bike. Could it be this? Remember, my tachometer was stuck at 8,000 RPMs. It's back at 0. because you hear the familiar fuel pump? Guess what? It lives again. You hear that? Starts up. I like it better without this. Ooh, that sounds better right there. A little more air. Everything's flowing smoothly. Everything's good. So we hope, right? So, yes, it runs again. Voltage regulator. This is what happens. So when these things get warm, they pop. They don't pop like other parts. They'll cook themselves to death. Notice this radiator, the radiator fins on top. Just like I say radiator fins, you can say heat sink. It's either way. These fins on it are just like if you have some type of amplifier. They're there to dissipate heat. Now this actually mounts under the gas tank right there. See it? Yeah, you can see it. Look at that. That's the new one right there. And that's why she starts up. Because this bad boy right here is L cooked. You look right there. See how the yellow is not yellow? You know why? It's brown. It's burnt. Look at the top of that green one. L cooked. This bad boy got hot and went pop. But there's no visible signs. There's no bubbling. There's no melting. There's none of the, you know, telltale signs that you would see in a melted part, except when you get right there. Look at it. Burnt, 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 burnt. That doesn't look burnt though, does it? See, those do. So, yep. Figured it out. $25 or $35 part, I can't remember. The battery was like 40, 45, something like that shipped. Battery's nice and strong though. I liked it. That's a sealed battery. The other one came with a where you had to do the maintenance on it. That one's a sealed. Some people prefer one over the other. Hey, I like to have them sealed. When it goes bad, I'll just, you know, replace it. Although if you put a trickle charger on when cold season comes, you're not riding as much, you'll be able to save it. But the KPR lives again. I would ride it a lot, except we got 2 hurricanes coming. I'm preparing for that. And I've been tired. I haven't felt as good lately. This heat just takes it out of you. I'm working on this thing. I might take it around the block when it cools off, but you can see it's already clouding up. We always get pre-storms before hurricanes, so hopefully we can get some bands of rain that are far out from it, but we don't get the full storm, you know, or 2, because we have 2 coming to the Beaumont area, Houston and that kind of area. Anyway, so guys, the KPR voltage regulator, this is the part. Let's see if there's another part number on here in case anybody has this problem. Yeah, there's the other part number. 165 MLE1202. The part that I took off says LF 1703 1943. The main thing is they matched up at the top, that SM 12 volt DOT. Same plugs for the replacement. The box, you know, had the description on Amazon where I ordered it. Came from an American Lifan website, I should say, on Amazon as a seller. Replaced that, and guess what? It started right up. So I'm gonna buckle everything back up on this bike, which is probably gonna take me longer than taking it off. I can tell you that right now. You got to be careful. All the little parts that slot in and snap on and screw in, and I mean you want to keep from breaking the plastics. Although I found they've been fairly hardy when I took them off. So one more time, I'll give it a go. I mean, deadgum is still ready to go, and I'll just, there she is. While I'm at it and I have everything off, I may adjust the idle. I may idle it up just a hair once it warms up, see where I'm at. But I checked the voltage on everything. Checked the voltage, everything was good. That's the part. So everybody out there, thanks for your advice. Turns out that voltage regulator. Have a fantastic day, everybody.